Hi, and welcome to Uncle Scott's Pancast, episode 17. You can see I'm outside today, got the grill going here, going to get some brats cooking here in just a minute. In today's episode, we're going to talk Weber grills versus Traeger grills. We're going to have a shrinkflation update, take a look at a few products, see if we're getting what we're paying for. We're going to cook some brats, some peppers, and use this. This is a De Buyer blue steel grill pan. We'll see how that goes. Got a big announcement for our first ever sponsor. That's going to be really nice. Got viewer feedback and more. Let's get started. Now, I don't know if everybody's kept up with the channel the last few weeks, but I put up a notice. It's been about 3 weeks since I've done a video. The reason is I and my wife and my son were absolutely beaten down with COVID. I'm not going to get too much into that. I may put up a blog post over on the website at unclescottskitchen.com if anybody is interested in kind of going through what a COVID experience was all about. But thankfully, after about 2 weeks of misery, we're on the mend now, and I thought I would get outside, get my vitamin D, get my sunshine, and do the episode today out here on the deck. So this is that De Buyer blue steel perforated grill pan. Going to get that going. I got a bunch of peppers and onions, a little olive oil, salt and pepper. Going to get those going in the grill pan. And then I have some delicious jalapeno and regular bratwurst. So if that doesn't fix up COVID, I don't think anything will. I'll let that grill pan heat up for just a minute. Okay, I want to start out today with Weber versus Traeger when it comes to grills. I've got a Weber, I really like mine. I got a buddy with a Traeger, he loves his. I think both brands are very high quality. What the battle is today, though, is not about the quality of the grills or the food they produce. It's in the stock market. Both of the companies are going public. Traeger actually went public this morning under the ticker symbol COOK, C-O-O-K. They raised a bunch of money. Their market cap is now over $2 billion. Weber is going public very soon, this week or next week, under the ticker symbol Weber, W-E-B-R, and they're projected to be worth between $4 and $6 billion. Holy cow. Now, I am not giving out any kind of financial advice here, but with a little bit of my play money, I bought 5 shares of Traeger this morning. They're about $22 a share, so I'm in for about $110 just for fun, just with a little bit of play money. I've got my main retirement accounts and diversified low-cost index funds, Vanguard, Fidelity, blah, blah, blah. Those are not to be touched. But with a little bit of play money, I don't mind gambling a little bit on these grill makers. When Weber goes public next week or whenever that happens, I'll probably put $100 or so in there just for fun. So next time you're at Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever looking at new grills, just know that Traeger and Weber combined could be worth up to $8 billion. Holy cow. Now, speaking of the grills, let's go ahead and get a little meat on the grills here. And let's get the peppers in the pan. I'm still happy to have eyebrows. Okay, next up, I want to welcome aboard our first ever legitimate real sponsor, Cookware Baked Deco. Now, they got a deal for us. I'll get into that here in just a second. If you're unfamiliar with Baked Deco, they sell all kinds of great high-end kitchen items. They've got Matfers, they've got De Buyers, they've got Lodge cast iron, they've got all kinds of specialized baking and cake decorating supplies. Lots of things you can't just find anywhere. You can't find them on Amazon. Lots of specialty items there. They've also got everything up to these $15,000 commercial pizza ovens. Going to need to negotiate with my wife just a little bit more before I get one of those. Okay, so what's the deal for us? Everybody gets free shipping on orders of $50 or more. If your order is $75 or more, use discount code SCOTT10 at checkout. You get an additional $10 off your order. I thought that was pretty good. They really do have a lot of good high-end kitchen stuff that you can't find a lot of other places. Definitely check them out. bakedeco.com, or I'll have links below. Okay, while those are cooking, let's take a look at a little bit of shrinkflation. Going to start with some honey-made graham crackers. Let's open these up. And oh man, there's a lot of air, a lot of empty space in that package. I don't like that. Nabisco, I give you a thumbs down on the amount of air in the honey-made graham cracker package. Boo. Next up are these Tyson Southern Chicken Tenderloins. Going to make some of these for myself and my son the other day. I got a plate, I opened the bag, I took out 4, and then I noticed the bag was empty. There were only 4 chicken tenderloins in the entire bag. 4! That's the entire bag of chicken tenderloins. I turned the bag over and looked at the number of servings. 4 chicken tenders were 8 servings. 8 servings! No way, no way. 1/2 of a chicken finger is not a serving. So I don't know if we want to call this inflation, shrinkflation, or just an old-fashioned screwing. I don't know, but I give Tyson a thumbs down for the amount of chicken in their Southern tenderloins. Kids sandwiches. We had that segment last time where we made peanut butter and banana and peanut butter and raisin sandwiches. By far the most controversial thing was the use of mayonnaise. You got to use mayonnaise. Now Christy Michael wrote in and said when she was little, she used to make triple-decker mayonnaise sandwiches. So that would be a piece of white bread, mayonnaise, another piece of white bread, more mayonnaise, and another piece of bread. So I'm definitely going to bless that with a thumbs up. You got to have the mayonnaise. Now for this week's kids sandwich, fried Spam. Oh yeah, fried Spam. Actually, when I was little, my mom used to buy Treat. I couldn't find Treat these days. If you're unfamiliar with Treat, it's kind of a poor man's Spam. Spam will have to do though. What we do here is slice it up, put it in a pan and fry it up, toast some white bread, yellow mustard, mayonnaise, and very importantly, sweet pickles. Absolutely delicious. Fried Spam. Okay, let's take a look at the grill pan. The benefit to one of those perforated grill pans like this is that you can get the flame, you can get the heat up through the bottom of the pan, get some char on your veggies, whereas if you just had your veggies on the grill and they're thin, they can slide down into the grill and make a big mess. So the grill pan really does a pretty good job at keeping everything organized and still getting some char on the veggies without losing them down into the grill. Okay, some carbon steel tips. May wrote in and she asked, "Hi Uncle Scott, big fan. I bought my first Matfer, having some trouble getting the initial beeswax off the pan. She read on Reddit that some people mention soaking the pan in oven cleaner or using Barkeeper's Friend to get that beeswax off, and she's wondering, does she need to do that? I say no, don't do that. Those things are too harsh. I would not want to use oven cleaner on my pan before I've even cooked in it one time. Way too harsh there. Now for those Matfers, I've had good luck taking a kettle of boiling water, going out into the yard and pouring that over the pan and melting that beeswax off. That tends to work well. You can also melt it off in your oven, put it on a cookie sheet lined with paper towels. That works pretty well. If you do that, then give it a good wash with dish soap and water, and then follow that Matfer seasoning method where you use the potato peels, oil, and salt. that is more than plenty to get any of that beeswax off that pan. I would not go up to Barkeeper's Friend or use any kind of oven cleaner. Just follow the directions. I think you'll be just fine. Now I do want to note here that there are differences between seasoning a Matfer for the first time and seasoning a De Buyer Mineral B for the first time. De Buyer actually wants you to leave a little bit of that beeswax on the pan, whereas Matfer kind of makes you go the extra mile to remove every bit of it. So there are a few differences in seasoning a Matfer versus a De Buyer. With a Matfer, get it really clean. Now who knows, are the beeswaxes the exact same? Do they mix it with something else? I don't know why Matfer wants you to remove all of it, whereas De Buyer says to leave a little. Yet that's what they say, but I would not go up to Barkeeper's Friend. I would not use any oven cleaner on my brand new nice Matfer pan. Just me. Okay, almost ready here. Steve wrote in asking about the Tfal Easy Clean Fryer. He had a little bit of trouble with some fish fillets sticking to the wire basket. Now what is happening there is when you cook a food with a lot of batter on there and stick it in the basket and then drop the basket into the oil, when that batter hits the hot oil, it's going to kind of fuse to the wire of the basket. So what you want to do there is don't put the fish in the basket. Go ahead and put the basket down in the oil. Then carefully, you can use tongs if you need to, but you're working with hot oil, lay out the fish fillets, let them cook. There'll be plenty of time for that batter to set up in the hot oil. Then when you bring the basket up, it won't stick to the basket. Okay, let's see how we're doing over here. Okay, so I like the grill pan. I think the veggies have turned out really nicely. They go really well on top of a fresh grilled brat. One of my favorite things in the world. I just got to say I'm thankful to the good Lord that I and my wife and son gotten over this COVID. It is nice to be outside in the fresh air cooking a brat again. Very thankful for that. Thanks to all you guys for all the well wishes. Make sure you check out bakedeco.com when you get a chance. Use Uncle Scott 10 discount code. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again next time on Uncle Scott's Pancast.